Is it going to be Rick up first? It is Rick. First up with his cheese. He just got so many dogs. Does he know the barrel is it? Barrel is in play. Hold on. He sends the pets out. Barrel is going to wait it. He's going to cheese out the cheese. Right? Yeah, he's definitely going to cheese it. Does Rick know? Dude, Rick is just guessing. I think Rick is aware that, yeah, it's a hunter. There ain't no way. He can at least send the pets around everywhere. They won't follow around the main fell guard. Yeah. Barrel's gonna wait it. I love the cheese that Rick does where he just gets like a billion pets out. So many wild fiends. But yeah. All for nothing, unfortunately. Opener by Barrel. Axos to follow. Does get himself a little bit of clean with that rapid fire. Barrel needs to get himself the angles versus Rick. Tar trap on these pets. If you can stay away from the pets, that'll be great. Stun, however, with binding will not connect. Can't get a proper stun onto Rick either way though. Rick does end up porting, I think, on the freezing trap, but it does break. Scatter for a second. Barrel tried to get himself an angle. Dark Ranger is doing damage though. Stun, but it's going to be a trade stun with him. Rick with a fear. Controlling Barrel damage as best as possible. If you can control the true shot, he'll be golden. Yet another fear. He just got to control him as much as he can. Shot of Fury, just literally not going to let the man play the game at all. Rapid fire on the pillar. Finally able to get at least some damage, but a full Tyrant, Barrel is in trouble. If he can't go for a full combo, catch himself a reset against his pets, he might actually be in a bit of troubles. Staying away from the pets though. Feign Death camo could be huge. I don't know if he has any dots on him. He does have Charge Trap or Explosive Trap around the corner instead. Turtle, yeah, he's just under a lot of pressure, dude. These pets by themselves will actually tear him apart. If he's not careful, these pets will actually be the end of him. Doomguard out in the open. While you're Axtos, it's lights, man. I think it's lights. It's just way too much damage. He does get himself that short exil with a wall, but immediately dots take him out. Overlord slamming on him. That Doomguard getting so much value with his bolts, dude. That Doomguard was the MVP. I honestly think he did most of that damage there at the end. That is so rough. Yeah, all these pets. Man, it's so weird how Blizzard has designed some of these different pet classes, by the way. Demonology Warlocks. As long as you get the pets out, they do a lot of damage. You don't need to micromanage them. Are the pets dumb sometimes? Sure. You know, they get a weird pathing. Tyrant just keeps stopping his range casting for some reason. I don't really know what's wrong with that guy. He's been bugged ever since they added him to the game, I think. I think it's actually a little been pretty useless ever since the days of yore. Pretty bad. Stun into Rick, and Sai is going to be up next. But the rest of the pets for Demonology do fine. And then take a spec like Beastmaster or Unholy Death Knight, and the way the pets work is completely different, man. Some you have to micromanage, others just do a lot of work. So weird. Rick, I think, might just be done for the count, man. He does some sort of wall Warlock House in 5 seconds. That's about all he can do. Chaos Mode is doing some valuable damage while Sai's behind the pillar, though. That is massive output. And Rick picking up a lot of healing. Try to see if he can get a bubble out of Saya. He's got himself nice positioning with these platforms. Stun until Rick does go for a trinket. Try to go for a knockback onto Saya. Does not connect. Port is available. And as long as you can put Saya out in the open and slow him, that'll be perfect. The fact that he can summon pets behind the pillar is also massive. I don't know if Saya has a Hodge ready to go. But I fear spam while he's out in the open. Does stun himself? He does stun himself. Wait, does he? Or was it just a fear? It looked like he stunned himself. But I don't think he did. Because Netherward wasn't out. That Overlord did a huge hit at the end. If that thing crit, that would have been a lot. I think Saya might have actually died there if that was a crit. Is it going to be Lemon up next? Whoever is next, they are definitely giving him a chance here. Is it going to be Brew? Is it going to be Elo? Natty? Is it Brew? Probably your toughest matchup, I'm not gonna lie. Probably your toughest matchup, and he even gave Saya an opportunity to go for a full reset. I think Warbreaker did maybe a little early, but he does have himself Avatar, does himself lots of potential damage, needs to close the gap and make the damage happen. But look at the dot damage of Saya, keeping Brew at a distance. He just Dawn Lighted him to death. Literally nothing he could do, just Dawn Lighted him to death. I guess you could have rallying cried, but that would just delay your death. I don't think that would save you. That just completely delayed. Just nothing he could do. Lemon is up next. Last time Lemon versus Holy Saya. First duel, it was definitely inside scored. Lemon, however, came out on top. Last time these two had a 1v1. Can I do it a second time though? Or is it going to be Saya's full clean sweep game today? Subtle foreshadowing, maybe? Who knows? Gonna be immediate trinket blind by Saya. That is a trinket out for him, so that's huge. Lemon kind of rolling and blinking all over the place. Karma to reverse it. Why is high up on health? Saya trying to see if he go for shield of energy. He can break through shield, knock him up in the air. Huge karma damage is gonna keep going onto Saya. Does go for a stun. Lemon breaks out of it. Condi is gonna be laying hands. Still pumping that Condi, but it looks like the images were not able to keep up with Saya, unfortunately. That Condi could have been massive, but it just did not. You basically, ideally, you want that Condi to do a full bar of health bar of Saya. He goes for lay on hands, and it still pumps through a second health bar after that lay on hands. Basically put him back in the edge of his seat. And Lemon may need a defensive here. Does go for a massive defensive bubble out of for Saya. And Lemon does have a massive defensive to at least live this. Both of our health is low, but Lemon picking up a lot of healing. Stun, cannot escape it. Forward brew is in place, so at least he's got a big defensive. He's not taking the damage natural to his health bar, but he does get super low. Needs a heal. Oh, but the hammers out for side. The forward ran out at the worst of times. Natty is going to be up next. Full breath, deep breath onto Saya. Does connect with the stun. Is over. It is over. Oh, the eruption of the end. With Goer is going to be up next, my man. He's back, baby. My boy is back. Back in that enhancement. Natty. This guy's going to slap. He's going to slap hard. He's going to slap for a lot of damage. But Goers is going to back up out of the Ascendance is available. Everything is available. Natty trying to see if he catch up while Shroud is up. Shroud is down though, so for Goers, it's an opportunity to make some damage happen. Big ascend. Stun to Natty. Natty with the trinket. Does so a wall. Main to use mobility. That or get some counter pressure to Goers, because those eruptions can do a lot of damage as long as you get him primed properly. Try to see if you can match him. I don't know if he can. Try to pick up as much healing as he can. Movement is available. Emma might to buff himself up. He needs some kind of heal right here, right now. I think it was a cheat death just now. Dodging a kick. That's huge. Rudon to Goers. Does have a knockup for some reason? Or stuns him with that? No, never mind. Goers does end up taking him out. That is rough. Wait, Goers was mid-jump, by the way? I think Goers literally was mid-jumping, and when you rooted him, you slammed him for a stun. Now it's just Goers versus Elo. And Elo's giving Goers a bit of a chance here. A bit of a chance to get properly set up here. Is going to go for a full hunt. Lasso on the hunt though! Completely counters it. That is unfortunate. And went in for a backflip. What is it called? Retreat. Vengeful retreat, but does get rooted either way. Item is available. Back-to-back stuns. Darkness down. Elo needs everything they can just to survive. Huge stun into Goers. Does go for a massive abyssal gaze. Isn't going to be enough damage. Does go for a big burrow while Elo is up in the air. He's just going to be able to avoid any of that air pressure. And it's got healing where Elo does not. So for Goers, is actually in a good spot. Elo with a short stun onto Goers. Does go for a cleave. Is going to be knocked back the last moment. Goers got himself big tempest in case he needs to. I don't know if Elo has a blur. I think he's a blur there, but doesn't have a lot to work with anymore. Does also burn a trinket. Needs to, I think, just to get some kind of CC. Needs to go for hit and runs with Goers. I think that's about all they can do. Pick up whatever souls you can. Rip souls out of Goers. Start munching on those things to get on whatever healing you can. That's about all you can do in that situation, I think. Lasso, I think it just lights. Got one more hit. Sunder. Oh, stun, knock back. Elo has a cleave, but you got not a lot left, do you? Blur for a second or blade dance for a second. First aid, literally first aid right in his face. I think it's over. Yeah, Goers just need a one more smack. Sai picking up 3. Goers does finish off strong though. Sai without damage though, dude. There's just not much you can do sometimes. Just absolutely melted people. Get ourselves another going, boys. Yeah.